To properly create an assignment for your Aries standards-based gradebook for elementary, begin by tapping on Details if needed, and then tapping on Add Assignment. This pop-up requires that we do 5 things to make sure that our assignment is going to appear in the proper places and that the scores will calculate properly. First, provide a name. That's number 1. Second, make sure the type of assignment is summative. It is possible to change it to formative, but formative scores will not calculate in the algorithm for either of the progress reports or report cards. So that's number 2. Third, check that the category matches what the assignment is. The category needs to be, for example, in this one, we're going to choose a language assignment. Nuts and bolts language assignment. So I'm going to scroll through. Now the sequence is the same as, the sequence you see here is the same as the sequence in the report card, and generally the same sequence you see in different grades. So I'm going to go to language conventions. That's 3. The 4th thing we do is we check to make sure that the dates are appropriate. The dates make a difference in the algorithm, and so I'm going to go back here and make sure that I've got the date for this assignment. That's 4. And our 5th item is to add a standard, because this is a standards-based report card. The standard, remember, must match the category. So I'm going to go to Standards, tap on Add Standard. I'm going to go into this ELA area. First, I'm going to make sure it says Common Core on my grade level up here. It should. Every once in a while, I don't know why, but maybe it moved around. Anyway, make sure it still says Common Core and grade 4 if you're doing ELA and math. I can tap anywhere inside this rectangle, so I'll tap there. I'm going to continue until I see the first possible collection of standards. So I still don't see an Add button here, which means I don't see the first possible collection of standards. I'm going to tap on Language, and now I do see the Add button, which tells me I do see the largest possible collection of standards for the standard which I'm going to have been assessing. So I'm going to use the first one, which again, same sequence as I saw the categories. This is meaning, this is nuts and bolts. I tap on Add. Now it's under selected standards. Tap OK, and I've done all 5 things. Again, name, type, category, dates, and standard. People ask, why might I tap on Input by Standard? And that is if you want to see 2 columns in your gradebook, because you're going to be providing 2 scores. For example, if I were doing 2 different language assignments, I could add a second standard and then tap on Input by Standard, and I would be able to enter 2 different scores, for example. But you must make sure they're in the same overall domain. So you can't have a, for example, science score in one column and a reading informational text in the other. Those are 2 entirely different domains. Now, if you are going to be putting in a score for an assignment that is not English language arts and not math, you'll need to come up to where it says Common Core and change the area, the space. First, California State 1997 is where the frameworks are for social studies and science. Now, I know you're thinking we're supposed to be doing NGSS, but the NGSS standards are not mapped in our grade books yet. We're going to stick with science, and if I have the science mark, it's only going to be the one collection anyway. So you would tap Add and add that. Cancel this though. Again, add standard. California State comes up already immediately because that's what I looked at last. This is where your social studies scores are. If I'm looking for PE scores, if I want to input a mark for either participation or skill, I can go here. So I've got physical education, and then I've got the 2 marks that are found on my report card. I'm going to go local, and then PE was there. Under local, let me cancel that. Under local, you'll also see that there were habits of success. That is not mapped right now. And again, same thing for program participation. Finally, as I warned you, the NGSS standards are not mapped, and this is also a wonky area that had to be included for technology purposes. So you're just going to stick with Common Core, California State, and local. So I've done all 5 items. I'm going to save and close.